There's a lot of names out there of people that are on the trading blocks. Big thing around here, Telvin Smith won't answer nobody's telephones of any of the coaches and stuff that call him or anything like that. And with how many linebackers the Jaguars have signed lately, which has been 4 in 2 days. They signed 4 linebackers in 2 days. I'm like, with that coming up and everything, it could seem like Telvin is on his way out. And he had a really, really bad year last year. Everybody will point out the tackles and stuff. Okay, yeah, tackles are cool, but not when they happen 10, 12 yards down the field because you blown a coverage.
Right.
He was terrible at coverage last year. He was just bad. And now with the signings of Ryan to probably be in the middle and move Jack to the outside where he would be more suited, yeah, it's looking like it may come to the end for Telvin Smith.
What's one of the cool stories I know? Because you know with the draft, man, you see all these young kids that get drafted, realize their dream is just happened. And what's some of the coolest stories that you've seen with some of these prospects when they see their name get called? I know you see all the videos, but what's some of the coolest ones that you've seen that you can?
Well, Josh, Allen getting drafted in number 4, bringing up his kid. Mm-hmm. Like he had his little kid with him, and they come up on the stage, and both of them put a Jaguar hat on. Even the kid was like, "No, take this ugly thing off of me." But it was you just see cool things like that. People, them going into people's houses. The cool one to me was Seattle calling Metcalf.
Yes,
letting him know that he was playing Seattle, and he was just balling.
What took y'all so long?
I know, what took y'all so long? He goes, we got you. Don't worry. He's like, fuck you. You took too long.
But that
made me
was
sit
cool.
here and wait forever. You could have took me in the first round, Jackass. Which they could have, and they still would have been okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's just always cool things to look at in the draft and everything. And the one dude trying to knock Goodell's hip out of place, which we all would have hoped he would have. But it's just cool to watch those guys get drafted and everything like that. And then Juwan still being in Nashville for the draft, and the Jaguars getting him, and him going, this is where I wanted to be the whole entire time. And it was just, it's cool watching those guys get picked.
It is. Another one to add on to the DK.
And the funny thing is, that's still the power of the NFL, that all them people were on that road for all the days of the draft, just scouring that road. That's the power. That's how much people love football, is that you just have that place packed full of people, all just to hear people's names get said.
That is true.
But my favorite moment of the draft was Pat McAfee going out and running game on the Titans, on the Titan fans. What was the other guy? Who was the other guy to do it? Reggie Wayne did it.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne.
And then of course we send out Josh Scobie to announce the 69th pick in the draft. There's a lot of cool moments that happen during the draft. But it just shows the power of the NFL. Just those days, people just go out there to just hear people's names get set.
The one I'm gonna add on too is the DK Metcalf one when he met up with Pete Carroll, and DK Metcalf with his shirt off, and Pete Carroll took his shirt off and started flexing. It was like, oh boy. But that one was pretty funny too.
Metcalf is I don't know how people can get that big without doing something, but that dude is a monster.
Was he injured a lot last year? What was his deal?
No.
Or he just didn't play because he's. I'm trying to figure out more about this guy.
He was at Ole Miss.
Well, I know he's at Ole Miss. I really don't remember hearing his name until these workouts and stuff like that, and see how.
Oh, he had a kind of down year because Ole Miss had a down year, but he had not too great of a year. A lot of the things with him is he just went deep.
Okay.
Because people said he couldn't run routes or anything like that, but at Ole Miss, all they wanted him to do was just run. So that was all he did. But he's just a freak, though. Good God, the size of that dude.
He get to play with Russell Wilson, so.
Yeah, have fun. He'll be more than happy to throw it deep.
Scramble, do the hot routes thing.
And run. Yep, that's all you got to do. And that big bastard can run and jump and catch and do whatever and run you over and apparently Hulk smash and do all that other crap.
All right, so before we go to basketball, did you want to go off and sign off on your Jags? I know you wasn't happy.
We had the State of the Union address. You've seen it before when you lived here and everything. We have the State of the Union address where they go and they do all this talk about revenue and all this stuff. But this year, especially, they wanted to go into bashing. It sounded like they were almost bashing the city of Jacksonville. Well, this place does this and this place does this. And as you can see, we're at the bottom. That's why we need to go to London and blah, blah, blah. And that's why we got to do this and that's why we got to do that and that's why we got to do this. First off, Jaguars, I've supported you for 25 years now. You want to talk to people the way y'all talk to people when you're putting out a product that is horrible. You had one good year in the past 12 years. You can't go and talk to people that way that have come and supported you for 25 years because sooner or later they have enough of it and they don't want to put up with your crap anymore. If you continue to put out garbage, we're not going to come. It's just that simple. You can talk about revenue and all that other crap. It don't matter to us. You can talk about, hey, we need the city to put in for upgrades to the stadium and blah, blah, blah. Why are we going to put upgrades into the stadium? Why are you going to sit there and say you need a new stadium and all this stuff when you haven't produced anything on the football field? It seems like y'all are more concerned with putting concerts into Daly's place to put more money into your pocket and apparently to go into wrestling. Because y'all are putting so much money into this wrestling venture that your son wants to do that there's another thing taken away from the football side of things. You bought this football team to be a football team, not to be the sidestep to everything else that you can do. Now you're talking about doing all this stuff to Lot J, to bring in all these buildings and stuff so y'all can charge rent to people so you can make more money. I understand it may be good for downtown and everything like that. We just had the landing closed down because the city wanted to get it closed down apparently so they could sell stuff off the con or do whatever and everything like that. It's just you're going to sit there and you're going to complain to us about things when you haven't done anything for us on the football field except for one good year to where you had this city abuzz and everybody showed up. If you want us to show up, do what you did that year. We will show up and show out. We did it for the New England game. If you want us to do that, be good. That's all I ask for you. When you're good, then run your mouth about all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. But until you get good, don't come bashing us that have showed up for 25 stinking years. Don't bash us when you haven't done anything for us to show up for the last 12 years and for you to be dead last in revenue. I wonder what you were in revenue when y'all were good. Have you ever went back and looked and seen how good you were in revenue when y'all were good? It's because you've been bad. Winning solves everything. We know that.
Yes.
You win, we show up. You win, you make more money. The teams that are at the top of it, guess what they do? They win. The teams that are at the low end of it, guess what they do? They lose. So now you see where the parable is? The parable is, it ain't because we don't show up. It's because your football team don't show up. So when the football team starts showing up, we'll start showing back up too. Because I'm about to have it where I'm not going to any more games. Unless it's somebody that I want to go and see. But as far as these Titan games and everything like that, you might not see me there no more. Just saying.
I hear you, man. That's why I say with that is when you do put a winning team on there, y'all see how y'all can really support the team. And I saw it, the buzz, when y'all was winning the year before, that when you do put a winning product on there, you'll get people out there in that Jacksonville that will support that team. When I lived up there, they was just, they ragged on them, but they still was talking about the team that, like, they want them to do well. So
we go. If you're good, we go. If you're bad, we're not going to go. That's just how it is.
Right.
But then you got people like me that'll go for whatever reason. We go because we love the city and we love the team. So we're going to go. But when you're bad, man, it's hard. It's hard. But then when you start bad-mouthing us because we're not going, it's even harder.
Right. It's kind of like a slap in the face.
It just made me mad listening to that. That I was like, people were talking to me about the draft. I'm like, I don't care, man. I'm like, I really do not care. Because they have pissed me off so bad when they do that dissing of the city and shit like that. It gets on my nerves.
I hear that, man. So, all right, let's move on to basketball. I know you can go on that all day with your Jack. So,
hooray, basketball! It's actually the good part. Oh.
This second round has been fun to watch, hasn't it?
The second round has been deadly. Oh, I've even stayed up and watched Portland and Denver, for God's sake.
Did you watch that overtime game?
Yeah.
What? No. Yeah. You stood up for that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
How great was that game, man?
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Wow. That.
But you know what I don't enjoy? I don't enjoy watching that horrible, horrible, horrible Houston offense.
You talking about where they just ISO harden at the top of the key?
It is straight up garbage. Watching that made my head hurt. It makes my head hurt because, one, you're ISOing a guy who all of a sudden all these people are like, you see Harden come up in the clutch, blah, blah, blah. I was like, the dude went 9 for 30. I was like, what game were you watching? So he hit one shot at the end of it, and then the only thing that over-trumped it was Curry getting junked by the rim.
Oh no, yeah, Curry Curry's been having struggling this year, this postseason. But as
he's played bad.
Kevin alluded to, get James Harden and he just ISO at the top and it's just dribble for like 15 seconds. And it is. I agree with Kevin. It's terrible to watch just from that point of view. You get the ball.
It's terrible. I don't care if he makes the shot or not. Because one thing, as soon as he dribbles and as soon as he goes into the guy, the one arm comes out and he automatically pushes off, and he does it every single time. Number two, if he does that stupid step back, it's traveling. No one ever gets called. 3, he damn sure charged into the dude. They didn't even call it, and everybody was waiting on the whistle because guess what the NBA refs usually do? Blow the whistle whenever Harden does anything. But I'm like, oh, my God. I was like, stuff that's blatantly obvious, they don't call. Stuff that's not blatantly obvious, you call, and you're like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, the only thing that is down these playoffs is the refs. And the only other thing that is down these playoffs is that every time the refs do call something, people want to complain about it.
Yeah, there's been a more.
This is the complaint generation of the NBA.
Yeah.
They complain every single time they do something.
Well, this series,
it's like, oh, God, foul, no, I'm like, yeah, shut up.
Well, this series is particularly bad here because you got James Harden, Draymond Green, are two of the guys that really talk back to the refs. And Chris Paul, too, I forgot to add him.
Oh, Chris Paul's an asshole.
So you got those 3 guys, included with a couple of guys in this series. This particular series, you already knew that it was going to be a thorn in your side about the refs. That, you know, and after game 1, that the Rockets submitted a report for last year. Of game 7 of missed calls and situations like that. Why would you do that?
The Rockets need to shut up. They get more calls than anybody on the face of this planet that they shouldn't be getting. They complain, whine, bitch, moan more than any team on this planet. You know why you don't get calls? Because you play stupid ISO basketball. That's the reason why you don't get called. The only reason you won that game yesterday wasn't because of Harden's ISO ball. It was because everybody else played well.
PJ Tucker hustle, Chris Paul dribble the ball.
Eric Gordon scored 20-something points.
So
you ain't getting that again.
So
you ain't getting Iman Shumpert making 3-pointers. Yes. You're not getting that shit again. So you know what? Wave bye-bye because you're going in 5 games. Because now you've done pissed off the Golden State Warriors.
I thought this was going to be Warriors and 6, but the way this is looking up there, Curry can't keep having these bad games. You know, does, if he does.
And neither can Clay.
But can we speak about how Kevin Durant is really is elevating his game throughout these last
Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard.
They're both eating. We'll say Kawhi Leonard when we talk about the Nets series here. But
them boy, Durant, it's so easy to watch him play basketball.
His mid-range is just so deadly, man. And there was a time where I was like, in overtime, they didn't give him the ball enough. He didn't touch the ball few times that I felt like.
Yeah, that dude should have got